Hi everybody. Today I uploaded a video done by a lady going by the name of Reality and Common Sense to my Recovery from Narcissistic Abuse playlist. It was a long video. It was an excellent video. I related very much to it. The things that had happened to her, what her mother had done to her, are the exact reasons why I moved 1,500 miles away. Because if I had stayed, I knew it was going to end up down that road, the road she went down. So I would suggest everybody to watch that video. It's in the playlist. But something she had said in the video struck me. And usually I get my inspiration from my videos by reading comments. Something will trigger me. It'll take me down a road. And this is two-tiered, how I came to this conclusion. Well, these two conclusions. And this lady, she had a lot of lies made up about her. The family court system was used against her. Her children are used against her. Something that many, many of us go through. And she spoke of how her mother was always a user and a horrible person to her. But something that struck me odd that she said is that she betrayed her trust. And that's something a lot of us who have been abused by narcissists, especially those who the narcissists were our parents, say that how our trust was abused. That's not true. And let me explain why. Now, I'm going to speak from myself and from the people that I've spoken to directly. And the question that I'm going to ask you, that I asked myself, and that I've already spoke about numerous times in numerous videos is, are you really that surprised when your narc screws you over? No, you're not. You're mad at yourself, you're mad it happened, you trust, and not, I'm sorry, not, but it's not trust. You're mad at yourself, you're mad that it happened, you're confused, but you're not surprised. You're always expecting it in the back of your head. You're always expecting it. So you're never like, oh my God, I can't believe they did it again for the 300th time. No, you're not surprised. That's because you never trusted them. You believe them, but you never trusted them. And belief and trust are two different things, because trust is something that's in here. And I think belief is something that's up here. Trust comes from your heart. Belief is in your head. And you can get your head to believe anything you want it to believe at the moment. But when push comes to shove and they actually shove that knife into your back, you're never really surprised. You're upset that it happened. You're hurt again, and why did this happen? But you don't feel like your trust has really been, the role they take there, it's supposed to be a role of trust, but you never trusted them. We really don't trust anybody. That's why a lot of us end up being shut-ins, because we don't trust anybody, and we stay locked in our own heads, in our own little worlds. And a lot of us stay indoors, and we isolate ourselves from people because it's easier. We don't trust anybody because of our abuse. We will allow ourselves to believe things in our head, but you never really trusted. You're never surprised at this juncture in your life and the abuse you've gone through. When somebody abuses you again, you're never really surprised. You're mad it happened again. You're mad at yourself, but you're not surprised. That's not trust. So be very careful when you go around using words like trust, because trust implicates something that, there was a relationship there. Trust is something that's built. It's not just there. You never really trusted your abuser. So that's why, because you never really trusted this person's not really anything to you. Your beliefs up here is what's keeping you locked into them, not trust. And when you realize that, it's like, wow, I could never even trust this person, because every time they stab me in the back, it never really surprised me. So why am I obsessing over these people, and why am I trying to keep them in my life? No, you never trusted them. You believed because you were abused. And that's a different story. Something else she had said, and a couple other people had mentioned, and I've spoke about this before, how there's never any justice for us as abuse survivors, because let's face it, our abusers never really get what's coming to them. And even when they die, you're still left with a sense of emptiness. And we've said, there's no chance of closure. A lot of people don't get closure until that funeral. And then even after the funeral, most people still don't get closure, because there's still that sense of emptiness inside. And this is where this is gonna get a little humorous. But I actually figured out what our abusers' justice probably should be, and why them just dying doesn't really give us the closure, because it's not justice, because everybody eventually dies. So big deal. Your narcissist died. They died of old age. They got to live a full life, screwing you over, and now they're dead. Oh, well, you never got your justice. You never got your acknowledgement. So that's why you still, even after death, there might be some relief, there might be some sense of closure, that because you're never going to have to deal with that person again, but you're never going to have that hole filled. You're never going to, and I never could figure out what justice would be. And for me anyway, based on the way my abusers acted and what I went through, what would the justice be? And I actually figured it out. It was actually kind of shown to me. I like a lot of animation. I like adult animation, South Park, Archer, Adult Swim. I've been a big fan of that for years, and a lot of it's really funny and really well written. But what I was watching, that I figured it out, was an episode, and it was an episode I saw before, and I liked the episode, and I hadn't seen it for a couple of years, of South Park. And the episode is the Cash for Gold. And the concept behind it is Stan, his grandfather, gets hooked on buying this awful jewelry that they pay thousands of dollars. These old people are paying thousands of dollars for, off of these TV jewelers, these QVCs, the call-in shows that they're piranhas, and they just prey on the weak, on the elderly. Very narcissistic, very manipulative, very narcissistic. And I'm going to turn my camera around because I got it set up so you can see it for yourself. But what I want you to do, and this is what I did, and as I was watching it, it just for some reason clicked. Stan calls into the show, the jewelry show. And what I want you to do is, and it's not going to be very hard because it's the jewelry salesman is typical narcissist and will use the same tactics that narcissist abusers use. And I want you to picture yourself saying what Stan is saying and the jewelry person as your abuser. And if you've been abused by a narcissist, it's not going to be that difficult because the audio, because it's very close. So I'm going to set this up, turn my camera around. It's all ready to go. So just turn it around.
And that's it. We've just sold this bracelet to Miss Marcia Tubbs. Marcia, thank you so much for your call. You just got yourself a heck of a deal on this one. You there, Marcia?
I'm lost. I'm lost walking on the freeway.
All right, you're lost walking on a freeway. Enjoy the Tiger's Eye Aquamarine bracelet. All right, okay, what should we do next? Oh, I see one. Here's a good one. Let me set the stage for you here. You're going to that seniors cocktail party. It's bingo night. You're looking for something to wear. How about a 13-karat Tanzanite ring? We got a caller already on this one. Hello, sir. You must be a fan of Tanzanite.
Yeah, hi. You should kill yourself.
What's that?
I said you should kill yourself. What you do is sort of unjustifiable. And you know it's unjustifiable. And you don't care. It's the definition of evil. Kill yourself.
Okay, we're going to sell this ring for just $37.95. How's that?
I just read that the day shopping networks make most of their money is on the day seniors pick up Social Security checks. Kill yourself.
All right, well, you shouldn't say things like that because some host of a jewelry channel sure might up and do it, and then you'd feel really bad.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
No, because I really want you to kill yourself.
All right, well, how about this? If a jewelry network host goes home tonight and blows his brains out, you might be liable. That's a lawsuit worth $2.7 million. How's that sound?
I don't care what happens to me. I care about my grandfather. You morally empty, corrupted maggot.
All right, I tell you what, I'll bring the lawsuit down to $29.39.
It doesn't matter what price you put on anything. Your only chance to right the wrongs you've done and repay all the elderly people whose lives you've destroyed is to kill yourself.
Well, you think it's funny, but that's calling up and telling someone to kill themselves. That's not a joke.
I'm not joking.